Hey there, fancy friends, it's Oliver, and this video is about Indian clubs. Not swinging, the club itself. Many people ask themselves, what weight is a good weight to start? If you are some of those, you might find that interesting. Modern teachers might tell you, use light clubs, half a kilo or even lighter. To avoid injuries, it is a good decision to admit people to start light, and maybe it's a good choice for modern day people which are all victims to our lifestyle. That aside, this channel is about historical and traditional martial arts and also physical fitness. And I will tell you today what Wortmann has to tell us about clubs. Wortmann was a pioneer of German toner Keulenschwingen, literally club swinging. At this point, I will give you a hint. If you like our content, please give thumbs up and subscribe to support us. And now back to the clubs. Now let's start with the wood for the clubs. Wortmann recommends hornbeam or elm. For example, this is a club from hornbeam with 900 grams. Which would be the starter weight for adults according to Ferdinand Mehr II, whose lesson you all know from our first Indian club video series. Wortmann also recommends oak as useful, but it went more brittle over the time. And then there is ash, which is, as I understand him, right, too precious for clubs, but of course it makes precious clubs too. The clubs don't need a polish, but a varnish is always good. And then he wrote something interesting because it divides modern day club users. Modern traditional Indian club swingers are sometimes against using club bells because real Indian clubs are made of wood. But Wortmann just tells us that at this point he don't know about cast iron clubs, so he is not averse to that. But keep in mind that wooden and iron clubs move differently. The lever and the volume matters a lot in swinging exercises. To give you an idea, this is 4 kilo of wood and this is 4 kilo of iron. Just because it's fun to know. In short, the 3 parts of the club are named as follows. It's the knob, the neck and the belly. But the big part is called weapon, and in fact he uses this word in his descriptions in the whole book. Now to the length. Because Wortmann uses rotations under the arm, the club should not be longer than the arm without the hand. In numbers, this should be about 40 centimeters for children and 70 to 80 centimeters for adults, which are the recommended sizes for toner holes. The weapon should have a diameter of 8 centimeters for kids and 11 to 15 centimeters for adults. The other measurements corresponding to that. Now to the interesting part, the weight. In his research, Wortmann found a big table which is used in England at that time. According to this, an adult should use clubs with around 4 kilograms. He did not see the need of such a big table, and of course the recommended weight must not fit with the exercises Wortmann uses for the toners in Germany. He recommends for pupils 1 to 2 kilogram and for adults 1.5 to 2.5 kilogram for a starter weight, but one could scale it up to 8 kilogram each, which is a little bit less than the 20 pounds from Mehr. One can tell he spends time in German toner halls. This is a heavy club according to Mehr, 9 kilogram with fitting measurements from a light wood. Hornbeam or elm would have caused a smaller size. To determine a fitting weight, Wortmann gives us a rule of thumb. Reach out with your weak arm. If you can hold the club with ease you can use it. And don't compare them with dumbbells. The small weights with a lever in motion means much. One can train with a club of 1 kilogram for 15 minutes easily until complete exhaustion occurs. Something many people today also don't understand. If I read the comments on YouTube. If you have a 2.5 kilogram club and want to go up in weight, there are several methods to do so. First, buy a new club. Second, screw a hole into the weapon and fill them up with the lead or hammer in iron rods. And third, mount a ring of iron on the outside of the weapon. The fun part of filling or adding metal parts is that the length and the volume of the clubs stays nearly the same, so it moves nearly the same. Today we can buy adjustable clubs like this from edX, Mace and Club Systems to make easy progress. But also, this is not a new idea, as this is Wortmann from 1889 shows a big wooden club with a core of adjustable iron weights, which gives us also the volume of a wooden club. By the way, did you know that this, let's call it rings, and it may not be the case for traditional Persian meals, but Wortmann wrote they are of course decorative, but you could also count the weight with it. In fact, I have not seen old heavy German clubs, so I could not tell if this was actually practiced. But if this was new to you, give a thumb up. Last but not least, not relevant for the most of you, but again, nice to know, the storage. Obviously, you can place them on the floor as you would do with a bottle. But if you have many of them, as in toner holes, place them in a shelf like the ones for wine bottles. What was the most interesting fact for you? Let me know in the comments and see you next video.